Hi, I'm Steph, a Soulmate coach. And as a Soulmate coach, I went to critique Netflix' new game show, Pop the Balloon. It's a dating game show. Have you seen it? Well, I watched it. My daughter told me not to watch it because she thought it was cringy, and perhaps it is, but I think it's interesting to watch these things. So, I think I watched the first episode, and I think it had uh a cast of maybe like 8 girls, and it had about 6 different guys come in on their own. And so the thing is, when the guy comes in, then if the ladies don't like him right off the bat, then they pop the balloon. And as he's talking, if he says things that they don't like, then they pop the balloon. So my take is the majority of the women were pretty judgmental, and they pop their balloons like pretty fast. And sometimes they were popping the balloons over red flags and very warranted things. Um but other times, like, it was a big deal, like what shirt the guy was wearing. Like if they didn't like the guy's shirt, they'd pop the balloon. And I just don't think that's a good tactic when dating. And there was a vintage clothes seller lady, and she kind of said it well. She's like, well, for one of the guys, and I actually liked, I think, this guy the best. There was a guy that was a photographer and a videographer, and all the other girls popped the balloon because, like, he wasn't tall enough, and a lot of them, it was because they didn't like the pattern of his shirt. And this girl said, well, I figured he could change his shirt, and that is absolutely right. I'll tell you a secret. In my husband's dating profile, he had an ugly shirt on. It was like rust colored, and I ended up donating that to Goodwill. So that men can absolutely change their shirts. For me, my guy's style was not what I was looking for. I had to figure out what I was looking for, but ultimately, it's a good guy. It's a sweet guy. It's a loving guy. It's a funny guy. And I got all those things. And my guy will happily change his shirt and let me pick out whatever shirt I want him to wear. Different guys are different. Some guys will want to dictate their own fashion. It just depends on the guy, but shouldn't be a deal breaker. For that particular one, I feel like that couple with the videographer, photographer, and the vintage clothes seller, that couple came the closest to actually making a decent date. But I don't know, like, it was kind of like weird. Like, these women were acting like going on a date was marrying a person, and it's so not. Like, I think more of them shouldn't have popped their balloons so fast, and that they should have just, like, actually gone out on a date, because it's not like some of these shows where you have to get married at the end of the thing. And the thing about dating is, with the exception of red flags, if you see character flaws that are showing you that it's not a good person, or that this person is not going to treat you well, if you see those red flags, definitely pop the balloon. But if it's a more trivial thing like height, or a shirt that a guy's wearing, the reality of it is, you don't know what your soulmate looks like. And it can take us women some time. And so it's very valuable to sit down and spend time with people. And if maybe the sparks aren't going to fly on the first date, maybe you sit down with them, but you're like, this person is really nice. I actually like talking to them. So you give another date or two if the red flags haven't appeared. And you see, and sometimes those people will kind of grow on you. Some of us have bad taste, and some of us have to get over that. And sometimes we will turn down a great guy for not a good reason. Now, if you have a good reason, more power to you, pop the balloon. But make sure you have a good reason. So that was the closest to a good connection. And the vintage clothes seller, like, actually right before they like decided to go on a date, she popped her balloon. Why? Because she wasn't feeling the chemistry. I wish she hadn't. She should have gone on a date with him. She might have felt differently after a date or after 2 dates. And heck, what's wrong with going out on a date with somebody and getting to know someone and having fun? Like, so what if you're not a match? Like, you can go have a good time with somebody who's not your soulmate as long as they're like a decent person. So I think they should have gone out on a date. So that's my take on things. I saw people being too superficial and also like too picky. I did not have an idea. I couldn't have guessed what my soulmate would look like. So I got it right when I went into it with an open mind. And I actually had to go on like quite a few dates to figure it out, but it's worth it. It's worth spending your time and having dinner with a person and just going into it and having a fun time. Maybe you'll find your person. A lot of times you won't, but hopefully you can just have fun and get to know somebody new and make a new friend. So don't take it that seriously and keep an open mind.